Hey guys, what's up? It's once again your favorite truck driving video game blogger of all time. And today we're going to be talking about some stuff. Hold on. Don't want to make sure I get in a car accident. Pull a homer. Well, anyway, what I want to talk about is Japan is going to be getting ready to start broadcasting 4K entertainment. So that they're going to start doing this in 2014. So that's pretty. Ooh, did I make a mistake? I don't care. I'm an outlaw. So anyway, Japan. Why is this truck going so slow? I don't know. It's just like it's hauling. It must have like a real heavy load. You know, if you guys want to see what the load looks like. There it is right there. Back in the cab. I don't know. The truck's really, I don't know, it's just really heavy. Must be pulling some steel or something. But anyway, so Japan is going to be getting ready to start broadcasting shows in 4K. Now, if you guys who don't know what 4K is, it's higher resolution than 1080p. You know, it's like 4,000, you know, by whatever. So it's really high resolution. Now there's only a few cameras on the market as of right now that can shoot in 4K, or you know, like even like 2.5K, which is even a little bit sharper than 1080p. Ooh, it's raining. I hate driving in the rain. It's always slippery, and this is really pouring down on me. But anyway, so let me list off some of the cameras that shoot in this super high resolution. You know, there's the Red 1 camera. I think they probably maybe even discontinued that camera. Maybe not, but I remember Red actually updated the sensor. But you know, they did. You know, they brought out their newer model, the Scarlet and the Epic model. They're like a much better Red cameras. But even the Red 1 was doing 4K. But you know, just to get a camera that even does 5K will set you back about $15,000 with all the goodies and so on. I better turn on my lights. So, oops, high beams. That's good. So I got my high beams on. So going back to what I was saying about the Red cameras. Now these Red cameras, these are Hollywood studio cameras, and that's one of the reasons why they are so economically expensive. I mean, I mean, these cameras are expensive, and that's just buying the body. I mean, forget about even getting an LCD viewfinder or some lenses on it. You could probably buy an adapter, put some old 35mm Nikon lenses on it, but these cameras are extremely expensive. Now there are a few other cameras that can shoot in 4K, such as the Sony FS700 with a firmware adapter by putting a hard drive recorder on it. So basically you're recording to a hard drive, you know, kind of like a USB hard drive, but it's not USB, it's like SD. Oops, gonna take a wrong turn here. So we have the FS100. There's and then there is, I believe there is a JVC camcorder. And I think that was 4K as well, probably about $5,000. It's just a camcorder. You know, you could put a 35mm lens adapter on it. So like, that's what people used to do before the DSLR craze. They were using camcorders with adapters so they could screw on like a mount Nikon lenses. So there's that camera, and there's also the new Canon DSLR camera that Philip Bloom actually just reviewed, and that camera costs about $12,000, and it's a DSLR camera, and $12,000, believe it or not, just for, is this a gas station? No. Let me just, oh, I'm in a tunnel, believe it. Never been in a tunnel in this game. But, you know, that's a $12,000 camera just to shoot 4K, and it's motion JPEG. And I know there's a lot of people who aren't fans of motion JPEG, but I guess there's reasons why people are starting to use motion JPEG. There's no copyright on the Kodak. And just to let you guys know, anything that uses some form of MPEG-4 or H.264 Kodak, technically, you can't make money on any of those Kodaks. So if you make a movie and you film it with a Canon DSLR, you have to go to the people that own that Kodak and like fill out some form or something. Now, they never went after anybody who's used any of these cameras to make money. I think basically they just put it in wording because of that, because they just want to protect their Kodak, but they've never sued anybody. But I mean, it even said that if you remember the old flip cameras, it goes, if you make money with any of these cameras with this Kodak, you have to file a license with us or whatever. So yeah, so that's a little scary right there. I guess that was a resting stop or whatever that was. Yeah, to take some, go to sleep. So it's a little weird, and I think that's why there's a little bit of an interest maybe in motion JPEG. And motion JPEG video format really hasn't been that popular. Now, it has been used in the Pentax cameras and the Olympus cameras, and a little bit in the Panasonic line as well. I think there's an option to use motion JPEG, even though the Panasonic cameras do allow you to use other codecs as well. So motion JPEG is maybe the new up and coming thing. But moving on to some other stories I want to talk about is China is going to be lifting the ban on consoles. Now, China banned consoles 13 years ago. There is some problems with China, Japan, and consoles, I guess, and there was a 13-year ban on video game consoles, and that's one of the reasons why I guess in China, I didn't really know there was a console ban, but there was a huge, PC gaming community in China. Extremely strong. And let's see. We go into a bridge. Let's get a better view of this bridge. Oops. Hitting the wrong button. I get a look at this. Back in the cab! But anyway, yeah, it looks like China's going to start getting some consoles again, and it seems like they're going to lift the ban probably because Sony, is investing in China. Maybe they got some plants and they, want to get some more of their products in China because there are a lot of people in China. I have nothing against the Chinese people. I just don't like the government. I feel they abuse their people a lot, especially with companies like Foxconn. Apple takes advantage of these employees, and Nintendo. They go in there for cheap labor, basically. But it seems like Chinese gamers will be able to have consoles again. So a couple of things I want to talk about. These driving vlogs are not going to be as long as my previous ones. I kind of just want to get the news out there and talk and get to the point, because I don't think a lot of you guys want to watch hour-long driving vlogs. But anyway, there's a really interesting video I saw, and I saw it on Reddit, and there was a dolphin that was dying. And it's kind of sad to watch, so I'm going to let you guys know ahead of time that this video is kind of sad. However, it was kind of inspirational at the same time. This dolphin was dying, and his friends loved him so much, his fellow dolphin friends, that they actually made like a dolphin raft where they were pushing his body up, because dolphins are mammals. They're not fishes. They can't breathe underwater. They can't hold their a tank of air for an extremely long time. But they kept on pushing his body to the top because they knew there was something wrong with him, and they didn't want him to die. So if he sank, that dolphin he's going to die. I don't know what type of medical problems he had, or if he did die. Maybe he just had a cramp muscle or something, and he just needed to be relaxed a little bit. I'm hoping that's the case. I don't really know, but I mean, it's kind of nice to know that these animals, they have emotions, and they love their fellow animal friends, or just as much as us humans love other people as well. Because these dolphins, they did everything they could to help their fellow buddy in need. And I'll just give you a small story, a little bit off topic, a little bit, but my dad, his two cats, one of the cats was outside, and one of his cats was underneath a car, and there was another cat underneath the car, and this cat, the neighbor cat, and my dad's cat were going to get in a fight, and I mean, they were really going to go, they really go at it. And my dad's other cat, saw my dad getting out of the car, and he starts meowing like really crazy. And he's like trying to tell my dad, he's like, hey, come with me. So my dad followed him, and my other cat, my dad's cat, showed him, the cat, my dad's other cat that was going to get in a fight. So gas. Okay, let me just do this. Showed him that one of the cats was going to get in a fight, and that my dad should know about it. So my dad, got on the ground and tried to get the other cat. Pull him out of the car, underneath the car, but my dad actually got his arm scratched, all scratched up. So, it's nice to know that these animals, they may not seem like intelligent like humans. They can't read, but believe me, cats, dogs, dolphins, they're thinking. They got a brain up there, and at times they can really blow your mind at something that they're actually thinking about things. So I think they said like the smartest animal that might be around, I guess maybe is a dog, and a dog's brain is 18 months mature as a human. So a human at 18 months is maybe on the same level as a full-grown dog, and what they can talk. I mean, think about it. I mean, did I say talk? But anyway, moving on to our next story. What else do we get to talk about here? Oh yeah, there's another thing I want to talk about, and it's called e-begging. Now, a lot of people have gotten a lot of hate for e-begging. Now, I've never done, e-begging, and sometimes it's I don't really consider it begging. Now, I have done, just to be clear about everything. When I first started my channel, people who know this started my channel, I do a lot of iOS and Android app reviews. I did do a thing where, if you signed up for GameFly or Netflix or Blockbuster, that I would get credit toward an iPad, because I wanted to put iPad apps into my channel. So, I mean, the thing is, I only said, hey, if you're interested, if you're already thinking about signing up for Netflix, could you use this, click on this referral link. It's the same 2-week trial that you would get anyway if you just went to Netflix anyway. But if you use my referral link, I'll get a little credit toward an iPad. So you're helping me out, but you're still getting Netflix service or GameFly or Blockbuster movies or anything, you know, whatever. So I wasn't really e-begging, but I was asking for help. But what I want to talk about is people, you know, who get mad really about people who are e-begging and so on. And sometimes I don't, you know, I don't have a problem with it. Now let me explain myself. We're seeing a lot of Kickstarter out there. You know, a lot of people doing these Kickstarters, and we're seeing a lot of indie games being made, a lot of great PC games. There's a lot of, you know, a lot of really good independent movies being made. I'll actually leave a link to these kids who made a movie called Bad is Bad. Great movie. And I'm not joking about this when I say that. They made a great movie. However, I do want to point out that this movie is, alright, is rated R. So you should not be watching this movie unless you're 18 years old. So I'm putting that out there. So don't get mad at me. You know, if you watch something and it's you know, you're like, oh, you know, that's R-rated. No, this is an R-rated movie, and it's for adults. It's not for you kids to watch. And I'm talking, this is like Pulp Fiction R-rated. This isn't like an Arnold Schwarzenegger or Expendables R-rated. This is like Pulp Fiction or Jackie Brown or, you know, Quentin Tarantino R-rated film. This is it's called Bad is Bad. Link of that movie will be in the description box of this video. So these kids, they made this movie for free to get their name out there in the movie industry. They released it for free. They spent about $6,000 of their own money, and you know, they went into debt for $6,000. So, but I mean, they released this movie for free. So they wanted to make another movie. You know, and they had a budget of $12,000, and they did a Kickstarter campaign. And you know, for $10, you know, you get a digital downloadable version that you can watch, you know, watch the movie. So here you're donating to you know, to help them get a movie made, and you also get a copy. It's just that you're investing in the when you know, once it gets released, you're going to get your copy. Now, some of the you know, the extra perks they may give you, you know, maybe you might be interested in it. Like maybe you get like a signed autographed DVD copy for $50. You're like, $50, that's kind of a lot even for, you know, an autograph, whatever. But I mean, just $10, I think, is a pretty good deal to getting, you know, a copy of the movie. You know, even if it is downloadable, and I mean, you can get a Blu-ray or DVD copy. Now, we're looking at Freddie W. What he's done with Video Game High School, and he got a lot hate for doing, you know, the Kickstarter. People call him an e-beggar and this and that, right? You know, but he put out a really amazing product for that show, and that show in a lot of ways reminds me of you know, Back to the Future with Michael J. Fox a little bit, and then Biff being the asshole. I mean, he made an extremely high quality television show, and the show that he produced, in my opinion, is 10 times better than all the crap you see coming out of these networks. Independent show. I'm glad he owns the rights to, you know, Video Game High School. It's not owned by, you know, NBC or CBS or a major network. It's his property. He does what he does with it, and I trust Freddie Wong will put out a great second season. So, you know, if you want to donate to that project, you know, you're going to get the show. He's even give you give it to you, you know, with a DRM-free downloadable version really high quality. I think even for $30 you get it on Blu-ray. I mean, he's giving you the same stuff. I mean, he's charging you, he's asking for help, but it's the same amount of money that you would get anyway if you went to Best Buy and bought it on Blu-ray. But the thing is, you're putting the money toward the show now, you know. And I don't even mind it. Maybe if he even comes under budget on a show, you always have to shoot for a little extra because there's always production costs when you're filming movies. For example, when George Lucas was filming Empire Strikes Back, he actually went over budget, I think, by $10 million. And he had to find a way. I don't know how he did it, but he found a way how to complete the movie and not ask for any other money. Maybe it's how he told the story. He had to rewrite the story. Maybe he made a deal with I don't even know how he did it, to tell you the truth. But he went to the bank and says, I need an extra $10 million. And the bank said no. And he said, well, you know, Star Wars was the greatest grossing movie of all time. And this bank, this had a rule, you know, for whatever reasons, when people ask for more money, they don't give it out, period. It's just it was a rule of the bank, and George Lucas had to figure a way out. Now what I want to talk about is what we've seen with Machinima. We all know that Machinima has been having problems financially. I mean, they've let a lot of partners go. You know, and a lot of people have speculated that one of the reasons why they've been having financial problems is because they've actually tried to do. I mean, they did it. I mean, what Freddie Wong produced high quality television shows here on YouTube, but it just seems, you know, that they've started having these financial problems right when they started producing these shows. Okay, so, you know, if you put the two and two together, it seems that these high quality shows, they did a Battlestar Galactica prequel show, they did the Halo show, they did another show that was similar to the X-Files. So things like that, you know, they're not cheap to produce. And just to let you guys know, the ad revenue, and it just seems to me, isn't as high as network revenue. Okay, you know, when you think about it, right? One of the shows that I used to really love to watch was the Sarah Connor Chronicles, the Terminator show. And I think at the highest ratings, that show had about 15 million people watching that show. Okay, it's employing, I'm going to say up to 4 to 5 or 6 major actors. You have Sarah Connor, you have the good female Terminator, then you have John Connor, you have the FBI agent, and that other good Terminator. That was the redheaded girl with the British accent. Because it was the Terminators in themselves were having political problems. Some of the Terminators actually wanted to become and work with the humans and stop the war. So, you know, we'll look. You know, when we look at Machinima, since they didn't do a Kickstarter, they were completely looking at you know, what they were pulling in from, you know, their networks as revenue, and they had to let a lot of channels go. There's like a lot of channels that had to go. Now, some channels were actually really happy to leave because, you know, a lot of reports were saying that Machinima was having lifelong contracts. A lot of people had to say, hey, if you don't let me go, I'm going to get a lawyer. Machinima actually let them go because they're, you know, that's actually illegal to do that. But, so, you know, if somebody's asking for help and they're going to give something back, I don't really see a problem with it. Now, let me just give you another example where I don't see a problem with somebody asking for help. Now, I'm not a tutorial guy, and I've been thinking about doing tutorials, and I don't even think I would even, you know, ask for help to buy the software, because I could probably afford to buy it myself. But let me just give you an example. Let's say there's a guy on YouTube or a girl or whatever who's doing really good Photoshop tutorials, and you've been watching that person's channel for a really good long time, and you learned a lot from that person because their tutorials are so good. And there are some people who make amazing YouTube, Sony Vegas, Adobe Premiere, Maya, 3D Studio, Lightwave, all these amazing tutorials to help you become better at what you want to accomplish too. Now, Sony Vegas is, $500. It's a very expensive program. So is in Photoshop. And let's say, somebody says, hey, if you guys want to chip in so I get the newer version of Adobe Photoshop CS6 or 5, whatever the new version is, and they say, hey, you want to help donate so I can get the new version because I really don't want to go into debt, and I'm going to keep on making videos. All right, that's perfectly cool, But where I have a problem where people ask for money is when I should probably go to sleep, and it seems like there's going to be a road coming up because if my guy starts dozing off, we could start having some real serious problems. You know what I'm saying? Like when somebody asks for money just because they want to get something for free, that's when I have a problem. Okay, and they want to get something because they're like, oh, the new console's coming out. Ooh, I want to get that for myself. That's when it becomes a little sleazy when they're doing that. Is when they're just trying to get something for themselves. But if somebody is making content, good quality content, and they're asking for help because it comes out of their pocket, a lot out of their pocket. This place looks creepy. I don't want to go here. I might die. Alright. It looks like there's a bed. Alright. This place is creepy. I don't want to die. Alright. Ah! Haha. That's bad. Hold on. Get a different angle. Oh, okay, here it is. Am I gonna just roll in here? I don't know. That's why I hate driving. Hold on. I'm getting out of here. I can't stand this. But anyway, screw it. I'll just maybe just die at the wheel sleeping. Yeah, that was a really pisses me off. But like I said, when people are e-begging because they just want to get something, that's. I think I can park here. Can I park? No. When people start e-begging just because they want to get something for free, that's wrong. You know, so if you're new on YouTube and if you want to start making videos and you want to prove yourself, hold on, I want to see this for a second. Come on. Okay. Ooh, we're gonna go to sleep. Okay, thank you. At least I'm driving during the daylight now. Alright. Come on, let my map come back. I can do this. But when people are e-begging just for the sake of getting stuff, that's a little crappy. Just you know, and then they don't use the stuff that they asked for, you know, to help you out. I mean, to help themselves out. That's a little crappy when they do stuff like that. Come on, you can do it. You know, let me give you an example when it's good to help somebody out. There's a commentator, I think it's Michael Mayhem, if I'm pronouncing his name right. Could be wrong about that. But this kid was kind of in a tough situation, you know. And he asked for some help from his... Let me just see. I think I'm going this way. Come on. You know, he asked for help because he wanted a new PC. And, you know, his subscribers helped him out. You know, he was in Iraq, you know, and he had some damage to... Oh, come on. Another wrong turn. I don't want to back up. Thank you. That was pretty easy. But he was in a real tough situation. I mean, he was in Iraq. He was in the U.S. Army. And, you know, his truck or whatever went over a bomb. And he got blown up, basically. He had his flak jacket. And he's real lucky that, I mean, this kid still has all his limbs. And everything. I mean, he got away, because most of the time when you hear about stories about guys like him, you hear about like limbs are blown off, guys' faces are messed up and stuff like that. He got away pretty good, but he does have a little bit of brain damage, and I think it's what they call is PSD or something like that. And my truck won't start. Come on. And this is a real heavy load. But you know, he lives up in Maine. The economy's real bad. He can't find a job. And a lot of times, once you go in the military and you get PSD, you know, that's that problem where guys when they have nightmares a lot, where they relive what happened to them while when they were in combat and stuff. and it's really a sad thing. Now, my dad's best friend, he was in Vietnam, and he had PSD. I guess I don't. They said he had some problems, and he was having a hard time holding down a job because of what he experienced in Vietnam. So he went to I guess to see a psychiatrist to talk about some of these problems that he was having, and he got the help that he needed, and he's been very successful. But now, like a lot of companies, they don't want to hire somebody who does have PSD because they're gonna they're a little worried about hiring somebody if somebody's gonna maybe pull a nutty or something. And I think that's in a lot of ways discriminates against people who have a disability. Now, what I want to talk about is people with disabilities. I don't have a problem with hiring somebody with a disability. I'm not in a position to hire anyone anyway, but I'm just saying, if I was a boss, I wouldn't have a problem at all hiring somebody with a disability. But hiring somebody with a disability can lead to legal issues, problems. Now, let me tell you what I'm talking about. I was watching one of the episodes of Penn and Teller, their Showtime show, which is, on Showtime they call it bullshit. But if you look on, TV Guide or your Direct TV Guide, they'll call it the Penn and Teller show because they can't call it the bullshit show, like on TV Guide and so on. So, anyway, they had this guy with this disability on, and he can't walk, he has crutches, the whole 9 yards, right? And he was talking about the first Bush, not the Bush before Obama. I'm talking about the Bush after Reagan, or before Bill Clinton. He passed a bill that would make it illegal to discriminate against people with disabilities. So now when anybody with a disability goes for a job, they're like, oh, should we hire this guy? Because if he's not good, he doesn't work out, and we fire him, he can sue us for discrimination, because some people with a disability, let's say you're having a hard time walking, you might be a bad computer program. You could be a computer programmer where you just sit down and you type computer code. Well, that person can say, hey, they fired me because of my disability. So now employees are very wary on who they want to hire. So it's really hard to get a job if you have a disability. So just keep that in mind. And this guy with a disability was saying, hey, he wishes Bush did not pass that bill because he thinks that more employees would be more likely to hire you because, if the guy isn't doing good, you got to let him go. But now with the whole, they can just, saying that employees are so scared about being sued for discrimination purposes that they just rather not even hire you and just take a chance on someone. And that's a position that Mike is in a little bit. Companies don't want to hire him because of his disability, PSD or whatever they call it, post trauma. When you're in a war, it's something like that. But he wants to go back to his college or his GI Bill, and some of it that's going to be covered a little bit, and the military has cut his disability check. He was getting a little bit more, and so he's in a tough situation. Also, him and his wife are having a baby. So what he asked for, if people could help him out, so you get a PC because he wants to try this YouTube be a commentator, and he says, could you guys help me out? Because as we all know, this is the other thing I was actually going to make into another topic, but it kind of leads into this topic and why Mike wants to get into PC gaming. Right now, PC gaming is extremely popular. And the reason why it's so popular is because of the indie games, you know, the Kickstarter projects, and all these new titles is coming out here and there. So they're extremely popular. And the consoles right now, they're old. The Xbox 360, the PS3, they're old, okay? The hardware is old. People are getting tired of looking at the same generation of graphics. Even though this is, I mean, the graphics are still pretty damn good. I mean, they're doing a really good job with the Xbox 360 and the PS3. So the thing to jump into now is PC gaming. Now, a lot of times PC gaming will slow down a little bit once the new consoles launch, because that becomes the popular thing, and then again it goes through the whole thing, and then consoles get slow, they lose their edge a little bit, and then it goes back to PC gaming. PC gaming ain't gonna go nowhere. Console gaming ain't gonna go nowhere. Handheld gaming ain't gonna go anywhere. It's gonna change a little bit, okay? All right. Handheld gaming probably won't be as big as it used to be, you know, for Nintendo or Sony because of cell phones, but there'll probably still be dedicated handheld devices. Hopefully, I hope so. But I don't know. The cell phone market does seem to be a very strong, you know, threat to it, because in a way the iPhone and the iPod touches and Android and Windows Phone and all these other Nokia, whatever, they seem to be a really big competitor to handheld gaming, and they're doing a really good job making those games. But you know, I'm hopefully they'll still be able to do a good job. Ooh, and that's it. Come on, my paycheck. But you know, that's why he wanted to get into PC gaming, and right now is a good time for Mike to get into PC gaming. And I'll leave both of his links in the description box. If you want to support him, subscribe to his channel. He is a really good commentator. He has that military voice, that sergeant voice, down to a key, and that's why I like to listen to him. You know, it sounds like, like that's like I don't know, like one of those sergeants in a movie or something. You know, he kind of has that type of a voice. Is there anything else I want to talk about? I probably rambled on for a while now. Oh, reading my. Just trying to. Okay, one last story I'm going to talk about. This is going to be a real quick one. There's a game coming out by the name of Minimalist Fighter, and now this game is kind of interesting. Now this is nothing done before, but they're going to let you play this game and fight other people on the PC, on the PS Vita, and on the PS3. I think that's kind of cool. You know, we're getting these cross-platform online games. Now it's nothing new. You know, Portal 2's been doing that with the PC and the PS3. There was another game for Xbox 360. I can't remember the name. Shadow something. I think it was Shadowrun. The original Shadowrun came out for the Super Nintendo and the Sega Genesis. It's an RPG, and they are awesome RPGs. So if you guys never played them, you guys should play them. You know, and I heard that the Genesis RPG is different than the Super Nintendo RPG. Now that's kind of cool. That, you know, back in the old day of gaming, especially on the 16-bit days, you know, when they brought out a game with the same exact title, you would get a different game on Super Nintendo and on Sega Genesis a lot of times. So if you were like, I love RoboCop versus Terminator, I want to play some more, well, you buy the Genesis version, you're going to get a different game. And every time they did this, they were always really good games. A lot of these companies back then, they made a different game, but it's still really good. Now there are exceptions to this rule. back in the day, and I know I'm really going off topic, and I should be making this vlog a little shorter, but a lot of the movie games, sometimes like a company like Sega got the rights to make Jurassic Park for the Genesis, but Nintendo never got the rights to it. So Ocean got the rights for Jurassic Park, and you know, I heard Jurassic Park for this Super Nintendo, it's actually really good, but Ocean, their games used to suck so bad. I looked at that, I was like, I ain't playing that. It has Ocean on it, and you know, so I missed out on that. And another one that I'm trying to think of, Batman. Sega got the rights for the Batman game for their consoles, and Konami made the Batman game for the Super Nintendo. Both Batman games are really good. One's made by Konami, the other one's made by Sega. And I'm trying to think of this. Oh, Aladdin. Aladdin on the Genesis was the shit. I mean, it was like playing a cartoon. It's like, how do they get these cartoon characters? I mean, it looks like a cartoon. They GIF. I don't know if they GIF animations, but there was something pretty similar. Great, great game. Now the Super Nintendo Aladdin, that version was made by Capcom, and really great 2D side scroller, and that was an amazing Aladdin game. So wasn't the Genesis one. Two different companies, two different games, but sometimes like games like RoboCop versus Terminator, Shadowrun, those were made by the same exact company. They would just make two different games for different reasons. Now we've seen a little bit of this, on current generations. Let me get into a little bit of that, and that's going to be the end of this vlog. So let me just shut off my engine, get some gasoline, make sure my rig's okay, and so on. Oh, and just to let you know, things are going pretty well in our witness protection program. There's another guy who's checking in on me, make sure I'm going to work, and you know, he has some money problems, so I'm going to be able to work something out with him, and he's not going to tell too many people. But what I want to talk about is Spider-Man 2. Not really this generation, but last generation, but it's close enough. Seems like they're doing this a lot with a Spider-Man game. Spider-Man 2, it's the same version. It's a little bit different on the GameCube, like the special effect. Like, I think there's like a bright light around you, and that's not in the other versions, or something like that. Spider-Man 2 is the same on PS2, Xbox, and GameCube, but the PC got a different version, which is weird. Alright, now when Spider-Man 3 came out, or Spider-Man 3, no, wasn't Spider-Man 3? Well, anyway, there was Spider-Man Total Mayhem that was made by Gameloft. Awesome, awesome, awesome game. Actually, did a review for it. Just search for Spider-Man on my channel. You might have to put the little dash between Spider and Man. I'll see if if I remember, I'll put the links in the description box of this video. Awesome Spider-Man game. But there was even another different Spider-Man game that came out for the DS, and that was the one with the different Spider-Man costumes and stuff like that. And what's this? Toll? But you know, that's because I don't remember who even had the rights for that Spider-Man game, the console version. But was it THQ? Acclaim? Not Acclaim, I don't know. It was Activision. I think Activision had the rights. Activision got the rights, I guess, for the DS and the console, but you know, Gameloft got the rights for mobile phones or something like that. But so sometimes, you know, you get really good games that are similar, you know, in the same time frame for the movie or whatever. But I kind of like to see a little bit of that. Oh, and I made a bad turn. And I was talking too much on this vlog. So now we're on the right. Oh, I'm not going to be able to make that. I'm going to try to do something a little dangerous. I'm going to do this. Epic win. Check that out, guys. Totally epic. But that pretty much concludes my vlog for today. Yeah, so if you're new to my channel, subscribe. Always going to be making new videos all the time. If you can help me out, hit that like button. I would really appreciate it, as it does help promote these vlogs, and it keeps me motivated to making more. If you guys have any questions or want to add to the conversation, leave a comment below. So once again, guys, you guys have yourself a great day. Later, guys. Bye.